First this hour, extremists from the eastern part of Aleppo, Syria, have shelled residential areas in the government-held parts of the city for the second time in the past 24 hours. Our correspondent Lizzie Phelan reports from one of the hospitals where people who've been wounded are being treated. Be warned, though, you may find parts of this report distressing.
Bloodshed in Aleppo today continues as clashes between pro and anti-government forces are ongoing. I'm again today in the Al-Razi hospital. The statistics that we have so far are that 3 people have been killed and 44 injured as a result of rebel shelling on several areas in West Aleppo. In this room, there's a young boy that was injured as a result of a gas canister missile being fired on the Saif al-Dawla area in West Aleppo. Nobody yet knows his name or age. He was brought here by a passerby who found his body lying in the street. Now, in the next room down here is that 5-year-old boy, Dia, who we met yesterday, who was suffering from terrible brain injuries as a result of rebel shelling yesterday. Doctors say that he's stabilized, but still in a critical condition.
Meanwhile, the UN envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, has once again outlined one of the main problems causing the troubled situation in Aleppo.
Part of eastern Aleppo has not yet gone, and there's a substantial population there, perhaps more than 100,000 people. And there are still fighters in it, and al-Nusra. So my appeal to al-Nusra is, for God's sake, move out. We have been telling you for a long time, move out, go wherever you want, but don't stay in Aleppo.
Well, the presence of al-Nusra terrorists in Aleppo was one of the topics discussed by the US Secretary of State John Kerry and Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during a summit in Rome.
He was giving a reception.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Is the Syria diplomacy still alive?
Thank you. Thank you.
All diplomacy is still alive.
Thank you.
Perhaps proving that diplomacy is still alive, some significant progress has apparently been made in negotiations over the situation in Aleppo. That's according to Russia's foreign minister.
Until yesterday, it was all about the American side urging terms that would once again allow Jabhat al-Nusra, which still runs the militants in the remaining non-liberated parts of eastern Aleppo, to be moved out from any danger or even criticism. However, yesterday during the meeting in Rome, John Kerry handed over the American proposals that go in line with the approaches that have for a long time been defended by our experts in talks with the US.
One of Russia's key positions has been the withdrawal of militants from eastern Aleppo to allow safe humanitarian access for local residents. Sergei Lavrov added that all necessary steps should be taken to return Aleppo to as normal a life as possible. He said that Moscow's ready to negotiate these steps with other Western countries as long as they result in concrete measures. Catherine Shakdan, Director of Programmes at the Shafakna Institute of Middle Eastern Studies, says that this is Washington's attempt to save face ahead of the Obama administration leaving office.
Well, I found this very interesting. I mean, the timing of it all is very, very interesting. And if anything, I think that the US here, and especially the Obama administration, is looking for a way out. It did, in fact, was instrumental in the rising of this terror, that in fact it was US weapon and Western support which allowed for this situation to take place in the first place. Terrorism was empowered. Those weapons didn't get there by themselves. Someone had to ship them over to Syria and actually train those militants that the US insists on calling rebels. I think that whatever lies or propaganda was weaved for the past years are really crumbling today, and so the US is looking for a way out, pretending again to want peace, to want democracy, and to be trying to fight for the greater good, which we know it's not. But at the end of the day, I think that Russia has to engage anyway.